My friends, there is a battle going on right now, and it's not just the struggles you see with your eyes. It's a battle for your soul, your mind, and your energy. Have you ever felt completely drained, like something or someone is pulling the life out of you? Have you ever felt an unseen weight pressing on your spirit, keeping you from moving forward? That's not just exhaustion. That's not just bad luck. There are forces, dark, destructive forces, that work to keep you bound in fear, confusion, and despair. Some of them come in the form of negative people who drain your strength, always taking but never giving. Some come in the form of addictions, bad habits, or self-doubt that whisper lies into your heart. And some are spiritual enemies working to separate you from your true purpose. But listen to me, you were not created to live in defeat. You were not designed to be a slave to fear, to toxic people, to the weight of darkness. No, you were meant to rise up to fight back, to claim the light and the power that belongs to you. And tonight, I want to show you exactly how to do that. Because there is a way to break free, to shut the door on the demons and energy vampires that have been stealing your peace. If you feel tired all the time, if you feel like something is blocking your success, if you've been battling unseen burdens, then don't turn away. This message is for you. Stay with me, because by the time we are done, you will have the tools to overcome, the strength to stand, and the power to walk in victory. Would you like me to continue with the full speech? There is a battle happening right now, and most people don't even realize they're in it. It's not a fight with fists or weapons, not a struggle you can see with your eyes, but a battle that takes place in the unseen realm, deep in your mind, your emotions, and your soul. You wake up feeling exhausted, even after a full night's sleep. You walk through your day carrying a weight that you can't explain. You try to move forward, but something always seems to pull you back. This is not just coincidence, not just stress, not just bad luck. There are forces in this world that seek to drain you, to steal your strength, to keep you in a cycle of defeat. Some of them come in the form of toxic people, those who take but never give, those who fill your life with negativity, doubt, and confusion. Some come in the form of addictions, habits that seem harmless at first but slowly take control, whispering lies that you can't break free. And some are even more dangerous, dark spirits that attach themselves to fear, depression, and hopelessness, trying to convince you that life will never get better. If you've ever felt like you were walking uphill with chains around your ankles, if you've ever felt like your energy is being drained without explanation, then you are experiencing this invisible battle. These forces work in the shadows, using discouragement, anxiety, and exhaustion as their weapons. They don't come with flashing lights and warning signs. They come as small, seemingly harmless distractions, as negative voices in your head, as constant feelings of overwhelm that convince you to stop trying. Their goal is to keep you tired, unfocused, and disconnected from your true purpose. They don't want you to realize the strength you have, the light that is inside you, the power that was placed within you from the very beginning. Because the moment you wake up to the truth, that you are not weak, that you are not a victim, that you have the ability to push back against this darkness, that is the moment the battle shifts. But most people never get to that moment. Most people live their entire lives under this weight, never realizing they have the authority to break free. They accept exhaustion as normal. They accept stress as just a part of life. They accept negativity as something they have to put up with. But that is a lie. You were never meant to live this way. You were never created to be drained, depleted, and defeated. There is a way to fight back, to reclaim your energy, to shut the door on the forces that have been stealing your joy. But first, You have to recognize that this battle is real. You have to open your eyes and see that you are not just struggling against circumstances, you are struggling against something much deeper. And until you confront it, until you stand up and say enough is enough, it will keep taking from you. The greatest trick the enemy ever pulled was convincing people he didn't exist. And that's exactly why so many walk through life drained, discouraged, and defeated. Because they don't recognize the forces working against them. They think it's just bad luck, just stress, just another rough season. But in reality, there are unseen enemies at work. These enemies come in different forms, but their purpose is always the same: to drain you, to confuse you, to keep you weak and stuck. Some of them are spiritual, whispering lies into your mind, filling your heart with fear, doubt, and anxiety. Others come in the form of people energy vampires who suck the life out of you, who always take but never give, who surround you with negativity and pull you away from your true purpose. And then there are the enemies within, bad habits, addictions, destructive thoughts that hold you back, chaining you to a cycle of defeat. You have to recognize these enemies for what they are, because if you don't, they will continue to control your life. That toxic friend who always calls you with their problems but is never there when you need them, that's an energy vampire feeding off your kindness but never pouring anything back into you. That relationship that leaves you drained, anxious, and doubting yourself, that's not love. That's a chain keeping you from your peace. That habit you keep returning to, the one that comforts you in the moment but leaves you feeling worse afterward, that's not relief. That's a trap. And those negative thoughts that tell you you'll never be good enough, never succeed, never escape the struggle, that's a lie designed to keep you small, to keep you from stepping into the life you were meant to live. The problem is, these enemies don't always come looking like enemies. Some come wrapped in the disguise of friendship, love, entertainment, or even comfort. They slowly drain your energy, piece by piece, until one day you wake up and wonder why you feel so empty. That's how they work. They take without you realizing it. And if you don't recognize them, if you don't take a stand, they will keep taking until there's nothing left of the real you. But here's the truth. You don't have to live under their control. You don't have to stay in the cycle of exhaustion and defeat. The first step to breaking free is to see the enemy clearly, to call it out for what it is. When you start recognizing the forces that are stealing your energy, you take away their power. When you set boundaries, when you refuse to allow negativity into your life, when you decide that you will no longer be drained by toxic people and destructive habits, that's when everything changes. Because the moment you see the enemy, you gain the power to fight back. And when you fight back, the darkness loses. Many people go through life feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and stuck, yet they never stop to ask why. They assume that feeling drained is just part of life, that stress and negativity are unavoidable. But what they fail to realize is that something, someone, is stealing from them. Demons and energy vampires don't just take a little. They take everything if you let them. And the cost of ignoring them is far greater than you can imagine. It's not just about feeling a little tired or frustrated. It's about losing your joy, your purpose, your very identity. When you allow toxic people to remain in your life unchecked, they don't just inconvenience you, they shape you. Their negativity seeps into your mind, changing the way you see yourself and the world around you. Before long, their doubt becomes your doubt. Their bitterness becomes your bitterness. Their fear becomes your fear. And instead of walking in confidence, you find yourself shrinking, hesitating, second-guessing everything. The dreams you once had seem impossible. The joy you used to feel disappears. You stop believing in yourself. because the people around you have convinced you that you shouldn't. And the scariest part, you don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. But it's not just people, it's habits, addictions, thoughts. Every time you ignore the voice inside telling you to walk away from that toxic situation, every time you choose temporary comfort over long-term peace, you are making a trade. You are trading your energy, your confidence, your potential for something that will never give back to you. That habit you keep going back to, the one you know is hurting you, it's costing you more than you realize. That relationship you keep holding on to, the one that drains you, it's stealing your future. That doubt you refuse to confront, the one that tells you you'll never make it, it's robbing you of the life you were meant to live. And make no mistake, these forces are patient. They don't come all at once. They take from you little by little, so slowly that you don't notice until the damage is done. One day you wake up and wonder why you're so unhappy, why you feel so lost. You wonder why your passion is gone, why nothing excites you anymore. And the answer is simple. You've been drained. The demons and energy vampires in your life have taken and taken until there's nothing left. But here's the truth. What they've stolen from you can be taken back. You don't have to keep living this way. You don't have to stay stuck in a cycle of exhaustion and emptiness. The moment you decide to open your eyes, to stop ignoring the signs, to take back control, that is the moment everything begins to change. Because ignoring the enemy doesn't make it go away, it only gives it more power. And the longer you wait, the more it will take. There comes a moment in every person's life when they have to make a choice. Stay bound by the forces that drain them, or break free and step into the life they were meant to live. But freedom doesn't come easily. The demons and energy vampires that have held you captive will not let go without a fight. They have fed off your energy, your confidence, your joy for too long, and they will do everything in their power to keep their grip on you. They will whisper doubts into your mind, making you question whether you're strong enough to change. They will use guilt, fear, and manipulation to make you stay where you are, but the truth is, you don't belong to them. You were never meant to live a life of exhaustion, confusion, and despair. You were meant for something greater, something stronger, something filled with purpose and peace. And the moment you decide to break free is the moment their power begins to crumble. The first step to freedom is recognizing the chains that hold you. You cannot defeat an enemy you refuse to acknowledge. Look around your life. What people, habits, and thoughts are constantly draining you? Who or what makes you feel small, powerless, and afraid? Be honest with yourself, because the things that steal your energy will never willingly leave. You must cast them out. Cutting ties with toxic people is hard. Walking away from unhealthy habits is uncomfortable. Confronting your own fears and insecurities is painful. But nothing is more painful than staying in a place that is killing your soul. You have to be willing to fight for your freedom. You have to be willing to say, no more. No more allowing people to manipulate you. No more running back to habits that destroy you. No more believing the lies that tell you you're not good enough. And once you make that decision, you must act. If a relationship is draining you, set boundaries or walk away. If a habit is controlling you, break it. One day at a time, one decision at a time. If fear is keeping you stuck, face it head on. Because when you take even one step toward freedom, the darkness loses its grip. But make no mistake, the moment you start to break free, the battle will intensify. You will feel resistance. People will question your choices. Your own mind will try to pull you back into old patterns. That's when you must stand firm. You are not weak. You are not powerless. You have everything you need to break free. The moment you truly decide that you will no longer be controlled by anything that drains your soul, you become unstoppable. No force of darkness, no energy vampire, no demon of doubt can stand against someone who has chosen freedom. The only question is, will you take that step or will you stay bound? The choice is yours. There is a power inside you that is greater than any force that has tried to hold you back. It is greater than every toxic person who has drained you, every addiction that has trapped you, every fear that has whispered lies into your mind. The demons and energy vampires in your life have worked hard to convince you that you are weak, that you have no control, that you must accept a life of exhaustion and defeat. But they are wrong. You are not powerless. You were created with a strength that cannot be taken from you, only forgotten. And today is the day you remember who you are. The reason these forces have been able to drain you for so long is because they have convinced you that they are stronger than you. They have whispered in your ear that you can't escape, that you will always be tired, always be afraid, always be stuck. They have used people, circumstances, and even your own mind to keep you in a cycle of doubt and weakness. But the truth is, they are terrified of you waking up. Because the moment you realize your power, the moment you stop believing their lies, their hold on you is broken. The power within you is not just your willpower, not just your intelligence, not just your strength. It is something deeper. It is the fire that refuses to be extinguished, the light that darkness cannot comprehend. It is the spirit inside you that was made to overcome. You have survived things that should have destroyed you. You have made it through nights that felt endless, battles that felt unwinnable. That is proof that you are stronger than you think. And if you have that kind of strength to survive, imagine the strength you have to thrive. But here's the thing, power that is never used is as good as powerless. If you do not activate the strength inside you, it will remain buried under the weight of everything that has tried to hold you down. You must make a decision to rise, to fight, to stand. You must decide that you will no longer be drained by people who do not pour back into you. You must decide that you will no longer allow your mind to be filled with fear and negativity. You must decide that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but a force that shapes them. And when you do, something incredible happens. The energy vampires that once drained you will no longer have access to you. The demons that once whispered lies will flee. The weight that once held you down will lift, and you will step into the life you were meant to live. Because no darkness can stand against someone who is awakened to their own power. And that power, it has always been inside you. Victory is not just a moment. It is a way of life. Too many people believe that freedom is temporary, that they may escape the weight of energy vampires and dark forces for a season, only to fall back into the same exhaustion, the same fear, the same toxic cycles. But true victory is not about a single breakthrough. It is about walking daily in the strength and power that belongs to you. The demons that once held you back will try to return. The people who drained you will look for ways back into your life. The negative thoughts that once controlled you will try to whisper their lies again. But when you truly claim victory, you do not go back. You do not allow the things that once stole your joy to have any place in your life again. Living in victory requires constant awareness. You must guard your energy like a priceless treasure, because that's exactly what it is. You cannot allow yourself to be surrounded by negativity, by people who pull you back into old patterns, by habits that lead you away from the life you were meant to live. You must be intentional about the people you allow into your life, the thoughts you entertain, and the actions you take every day. A victorious life is not a life without struggles. but it is a life where you refuse to be defeated by them. When the weight of exhaustion tries to creep back in, when toxic people try to manipulate their way back into your world, when old fears rise up to haunt you, you must stand firm. You must remind yourself who you are and what you have overcome. You are not the same person who was once trapped in cycles of negativity and doubt. You have seen the truth. You have felt the power within you, and now you must walk in it. Victory is a choice. Every day you must choose to rise, to protect your energy, to move forward with confidence. You must choose to reject anything that steals your joy and embrace everything that strengthens your spirit. And when you do, nothing, no demon, no energy vampire, no force of darkness can ever take your power again. Because a person who walks in victory does not just survive. They thrive, they shine, they live with a fire that nothing can extinguish. And that is the life you were meant to live. The time has come for you to make a decision. You have seen the invisible battle. You have recognized the forces that have drained you, discouraged you, and kept you from living the life you were meant to live. You have felt the weight of toxic people, negative thoughts, and destructive habits stealing your energy. But now you know the truth. You are not powerless. You are not a victim. You are not bound by anything that has tried to hold you down. The demons and energy vampires in your life only have as much power as you allow them. The moment you decide to break free, their grip begins to loosen. The moment you recognize your own strength, their power begins to fade. And the moment you step into victory and refuse to go back, you become no force of darkness, no manipulative person, no negative thought can control a person who has claimed their freedom. So today, make the choice. Choose to guard your energy. Choose to set boundaries. Choose to set boundaries. Choose to walk away from anything or anyone that drains your soul. Choose to rise above the fear, the doubt, and the exhaustion that once held you captive, because the life ahead of you is too great. The purpose within you is too powerful, and the light inside you is too bright to be dimmed by anything that seeks to steal it. You were made for more. You were created to walk in strength, to stand in truth, to live with power. So stand up, take back what was stolen, shut the door on anything that drains you, step into the victory that has always belonged to you, and never look back.